So the next comedian is, he's half Greek actually, but his name is not Christos. He's missing out, right? Yes, and he's a very lovely guy. I don't have any jokes prepared for him, but he's really lovely, and I'm sure you're gonna love him too. So welcome to the stage, Socrates.
Thanks so much. Keep it going up there for Christos. How y'all doing today? Beautiful day in the Netherlands, huh? It's not a joke, it's true. My name is Socrates. I am an American. Yeah, thanks. You saw the news, huh? Yeah. Got nothing to do with me. Got nothing to do with me. So, I've been living here since about 2009. I've been recently trying to learn my Dutch. I was recently forced into learning a new word, if you're wondering. I don't know how well your Dutch is, but the word is aangereden. I'll use it in a sentence. Ik ben aangereden door een scooterklootzak. So, basically, it means I got ran into by an asshole on a scooter. And so I got to do some medical things, hence the arm thing. It's been a little while, it was getting better, but then it's not getting better. So I was practicing in a sauna the other night. I was doing, like this, and I had to tell the guy, no, I'm not practicing to be a Nazi. It's my arm. It's bad to be a Nazi, but if you have to practice it, I'm just saying that's way worse. It's my own opinion, bad Nazi. But so there's another word I learned. A friend of mine asked him what the weather was, and he said it was fuck sunny. I don't know, I can't pronounce it too well because I'm not quite. I haven't learned that. I can learn each word one at a time. But fuck, yeah, V-A-A-K, K-A-R-K. It means frequently, But of course, I try to use it in a sentence, like a fuck. The fucking trains are fucking late, See, if you don't speak Dutch, it makes more sense as a joke. Because if you speak Dutch, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Fuck. But as an American, I'm from New Jersey, so that's all I actually hear and something like that. So I'm trying to, like I say, trying to learn my Dutch, etc. And one of the things I was at the hospital recently, and this whole thing, basically, this is what they gave me after I broke my arm. They didn't do any, cast, chips, or anything, and just this. It's what they call conservative treatment. Which is a nice way of saying the Dutch are cheap. But they didn't give me the paracetamol. They went the fentanyl route with me, which in some ways I appreciated. I didn't really like the fentanyl, but when I got to the hospital, like, would you like morphine? Which is an odd question, Would you like morphine? Me or the doctor, if you think I need it, yes, I'd like some morphine, All things considered, Ask me, would you like some more morphine? Yes, I would. In fact, morphine, 5-star drug. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Then they gave me Oxycontin for a while, and that was good. I was liking that, you know what I mean? Everyone's telling me about the whole addictive thing, If this is all you're offering me and it's incredibly addictive, shouldn't there be some sort of other solution? Valium, Percocet, Percodan. We used to do it in the 70s. No, just this really deadly addictive one. I said, okay. But I could sleep, and so I'm balancing, am I addicted to the drug? Addicted to sleep? I'll only take it when I sleep now, you know what I mean? So I take a lot of naps, Wake up, want to take a quick nap, so, pop a pill, and, I'm off for a few hours. It's cool, I don't know if it's going to lead to a heroin addiction or not, I'm not planning on it. I wasn't hoping for it. I'm not against it. I'm 56. I don't know how old you are there down here. I'm 56, so I'm about ready for one, you know what I mean? It seems like a nice late life addicted habit. We'll call it a habit. I have a heroin habit. That sounds nice, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's an avocation. It's something I do. It's part of my Instagram thing, you know what I mean? I don't know. But so I asked the doctor, what did he think about this whole, arm? And he said, basically, this is what they call a helas pindakaas situation. Which, if you know what that means, it's not helpful to know what it means. It's a Dutch thing they like to say. It literally means, oh, well, peanut butter. See, not helpful if you know what the words mean in any way, shape, or form. I asked, can I get another opinion? And they said, sure, because, I'd already paid my deductible. So the other doctor was a little more optimistic, and he checked it out, and he said, it comes good. And if you've ever had a doctor or a therapist here, they will at some point say to you, it comes good. Because they already gave you the paracetamol, and this is about all they've got. In my opinion, there's only one time that it comes good as a valuable, useful sort of a, feedback, is when you're shopping around for a male prostitute. How's that work? Huh? Comes good. The backside? helaas pindakaas. See, I think it's a gross ending too, but it sort of pulls it back together, and in some ways I found the circularness of that joke was good. So let's see, the other thing with the word, anybody going out with a Dutch person? You're from Lithuania, I know. Do you have a Dutch friend? How long have you been here now? 4 years, okay. Are you dating a Dutchman? Have you ever dated a Dutch guy or a Dutch woman? I'm not going to put you either way. The most confusing word for a buitenlander, someone from the Outlander, another great word, buitenlander. But the most confusing word in Dutch is, and the first time you hear this word, you don't know how it means. You're like, what are you trying to say? And it's like, I hear myself saying it waiting for trains now because of this. So I'm like, There's worse times to hear that. I think one of the worst, anyway, times to hear it is after sex. That was all right, huh? Not sure how to take that. It's still better than hearing it before sex. Yeah, I've heard it a couple times, but you push through. So. Yeah, I was actually recently came up with an idea that you think you got a genius idea, and then you realize it's like been thought of a lot. I had girlfriends that for some reason never knew when their periods were coming for some strange reason. I knew, 28 days. I marked it. I knew. And she's all aggroed out, and I'm like, you realize you're like 5 days off. So, really, am I? So I had the great idea of a PAP app. I came up with Snatch app, but I didn't think that was nearly as easy to sell. And then, of course, yesterday they made abortion illegal, and I realized that this is a Republican kind of a concept because, they want to attract everybody. If it actually happened, it'd be like this horrific kind of a dystopian concept, which is not a future dystopian. It's sort of a now-ish dystopia kind of a thing. I don't know if you realize it or not, but you're living here in the Netherlands. If anybody, you all live here. One of the greatest words of the Netherlands, of course, is the word that epitomizes Dutch in general, which is, of course, the word gezellig. And it's not just because it starts with a ch and ends with a ch, with a zel in the middle, but it means it's a warm and wonderful thing. Like when you're hanging out in a park with weirdos, it could be uncomfortable. But with a group of people, as a group, we made this into quite a gezellig evening. At least I had a gezellig time. And I think it's one of the coolest things about the Netherlands in general. You can't do gezellig by yourself, though. It's a group thing. You know what I mean? It's like you could hang out with the friends on a boat. That's gezellig, and what'd you do last night? Well, I stayed home and I masturbated. It's fun. I just don't know if it's gezellig, unless you do it in a group, which could be more fun. And so let me close with a very short poem. I decided my comedy isn't going that well, and with this thing, I figured poetry, that's what I should look for. And I'm on a lot of Oxycontin. At least I was. Maybe it was a withdrawal. I don't know. But I think this is a topical kind of a poem, and it's not very long, so I'm gonna draw it out just because of that. But there once was a man named Vlad, whose death would make the whole world glad. This war isn't done until Ukraine is won, and everybody knows that old fucker is crazy. Thanks so much. My name is Socrates. Slav Ukraine, and see you again soon. Thank you. Give it up, Christos! The greatest MC in the world.
Thank you very much. I am deeply moved by this poem, whatever it was about.